first team I brought in were land and water. We had to dredge the lake, which we did late last year, a major amount of work. Finbar, who came and helped me build the wood wall, and we've had all sorts of other people building carpentry work, the obelisks that we have in the fountain courtyard. That was with Alan Hayward. We started last year on the front of the garden with the small bit of planting, which then sort of set the ball rolling for the work that we then started probably in late November. And obviously there's been my team who've been, John, who has been here throughout, who's been managing all of the people, all the different contractors, and all of our people that work around him, laying paving. So there's been a whole host of, there must have been 50, 60 people at one time here carrying out the work. Kelways down in Somerset, who managed finding most of all the perennial flowers. Andy there does everything, finding things that other people wouldn't be able to find. And then I phoned up a good friend and said, listen, I'm looking for a Yorkstone, because I'd seen where he'd had a whole lot of Yorkstone. And then we found Roy up north. I'm here Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then again on Saturdays. So the process has been myself being very involved in making sure that everything's going in the right direction. Because if you're not here managing this kind of project on a going basis, you can come back a week or two later and you see something and you say, no, that was all wrong. And then you've got to spend a lot of time unraveling it. So if something has not quite worked out, then I at least see it within the next day or two and can quickly adjust it, especially when it comes down to planting. That's such a crucial element of it, because it's just, we have planting plans and it actually comes down to the physical placing of them. It's hugely important. I said, plant has at least 3 or 4 different sides of it. And people look at me and think, what do you mean? It's a plant, Randle. I said, no, it has a shape. It's been grown, and in some areas where it's been faced more to the sun, it's got better growth. Other areas are not so good. So you need to be able to adjust the plant so its best element, best side of it, or sides of it can be seen in the overall planting. The weather was also the biggest challenge, which this year has not been for anything. The challenge is now keeping everything alive, whereas this area is known for flooding. And what we didn't want to do was suddenly go planting a whole lot of plants on the river frontage edge and then have terrible floods and just suddenly be seeing all our plants floating down the river. So these are the kind of things we had to make sure that we timed everything. It's timing, it's just making sure that everything, you start area A and then you've got B, C, D, E, F, G, and then H. And you've got to make sure that you're hitting all those deadlines so that you can move on and be effectively finished in the time that we wanted to. We wanted the main works around the house finished in late June, and we hit that deadline. So that's the sort of the end of this phase. There are other phases that we are now talking about. So come the next chapter, we'll certainly be able to tell you a bit more of what we're going to be doing.